Hello, everyone. Welcome back to LTF1, and what a race it was this weekend. We got Danny Rick finally winning after 3 years. It's 2021, so yeah, 3 years basically. McLaren P1 and 2, McLaren first win since 2012. What a weekend. But the biggest thing was...
is that I was correct in our race preview, almost correct. I said
I just
Max and Lewis to take each other out, and then Lando to win. Ricciardo wins, close enough.
Yeah, you know, we called it basically.
And if that doesn't earn us a subscribe, then what does?
I mean, everything seems to be earning us an unsubscribe.
Everything does seem to be earning it, but we'll get on with the race review anyways. Go on.
The incident, your thoughts?
Oh, we want to go straight in for the incident. I thought we'd start at lap one.
Because
lap one sort of builds up to the incident, doesn't it? So lap one, off the line, Ricciardo's slapped Verstappen up. He's done him on the start, and he's clear. Then Lewis Hamilton, somehow from what he started fifth.
Yeah, fifth.
He's coming through as well because Norris has had nowhere to go with the Ricciardo Verstappen battle. Norris is coming through Curva Grande into the second chicane, and Verstappen squeezes him out onto the curbs. Lewis has to take avoiding action and falls behind Norris, where he gets stuck for the next X number of laps.
Yes.
Until.
Yes. But there was questions at the start about the incident with Verstappen and Hamilton, about Hamilton being pushed out wide. I mean, personally, I thought it was just a racing incident. Neither of them want to back down. And at the start of the race, it may have been lap one. There was a similar, I heard Hamilton was talking about it, and I had a quick look back. There was a similar, not quite incident at the same corner in which the incident later happened, in which it was basically the same, but the other way around. And Hamilton pulled out, both drivers survived. And yeah, that's my opinion of the incident as well. I think, in my personal opinion, and if anyone bothers to watch this video, that's a Max Verstappen fan, I'll probably hate on me for it, but I think there's certain times in certain races where Max Verstappen needs to pull out a bit more than he does for the greater good of his race, because he tries to be too aggressive into everything and then ends up being a crash or an incident, and then, you know, he's on the radio swearing and, you know, moaning about everything.
Yeah. No, I think Lewis Hamilton also has had a change of attitude. For example, if you look back to Imola, where he pulled out of that, today or since then, he's not been willing to pull out of anything either. And I don't think he should be. If Max isn't willing to pull out of a fight, then I don't see why Lewis has to sacrifice his championship just because Max is being aggressive too. So they're both being very aggressive, and it was always going to end like this, surely.
Yeah, it was building up to it at some point. It was just a sort of ticking time bomb of number of races, basically. So
I couldn't see it going any other way than the way it's gone.
I'll put it this way: as soon as I saw Lewis Hamilton, as soon as he crossed the line back into the race after coming out the pits, he was sort of pushing Max out wide, and you just knew. I knew from there that something bad was going to happen.
You knew. I thought it was either going to happen in that chicane, or I thought round Curva Grande, one of them is going to clip the other one, cops-esque, straight into the gravel. How Gasly went over his own front wing yesterday in the sprint, but that type of crash, it was. Everybody knew it was coming.
Yeah, it looked as if it was going to happen, but I personally think Max should have pulled out a bit more in that corner than he did.
Yeah, so
because there was still a lot of laps left. Max more than likely would have had enough pace to at least fight for the position back. So there's no, you know, there wasn't any sort of need for him to be that aggressive into the corner.
And after the race, and like I said, they can both drivers can be aggressive. That's fine. But after the race, Paul di Resta stood at the Skypad and has shown that, Max Hamilton could have left a bit more space. Max could have bailed out and gone across the the rumble strips and just rejoined and maybe given the place back and fought on for another lap. And then PDR went, but that's the weak way out. Why would any driver take that way out? That's the weak way out. But he would have got points. He would have been able to go on to fight. Is Paul di Resta a mind idiot? Is he?
Look at Paul di Resta's racing career. Maybe this is why it didn't go to plan.
To be fair, a lot of people say that he's criminally underrated, that he was a Jenson Button-esque driver. Very smooth. But anyway, we're not talking about that. You could say that for any corner where a driver should back out, oh, that's the weak way out. Well, the alternative is you crash and you keep crashing, you lose championships, and hopefully you walk away. But I don't know if you've seen the slow-mos of the tyre scraping the top of Lewis's head. It could have ended a lot worse.
I mean, I'd rather be weak and get
alive
than be, strong and, masculine and the manliest man ever. But, I'm crashing every week and I'm not winning and not in any races, never mind winning any races.
Yeah, it makes little sense.
This is why he's not chief strategist at Red Bull.
What was I going to ask? Oh, yeah. So going forward, some people are saying penalties.
Yes.
Penalties, do you think?
More than likely with the FIA. I don't know.
Do you think it's deserved? Or would you give a penalty?
I wouldn't give a penalty.
I wouldn't give a penalty either. But at some point, they do need to start, to both of them, need to start giving some sort of penalties. Otherwise, they're just going to keep crashing. And love to see it while it's relatively safe. Oh, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I do enjoy watching it. We all enjoy watching it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be tweeting about it and maybe clicking on this video. But they need to rein it in a little bit. Wheel banging is okay. Flying over the top of each other's cars, maybe not so much.
That brings me on to the next hot topic of debate,
Go on.
which is the sausage curbs.
You get rid of the sausage curbs and we'll just be having a debate about drivers cutting corners for jokes and having so it's just gravel trap.
Yeah.
Gravel everywhere.
I feel like gravel would be even less popular. I mean,
and gravel would be even more of a deterrent. Right now, we can say that Max should have gone across the sausage curbs. If it was gravel, we couldn't even say that Max should have gone there because it would then potentially race ending. So,
well, there's not really a sort of win-win alternative.
There's no win-win. The win is drivers drive sensibly.
Yeah, and
but then that's not even a win because we're just complaining about boring. Everyone turns into a Bottas and we complain about that. So there's no winning with F1 fans. It's a bit like Arsenal fans. Bottas did do very well today. I found it so I felt bad for him so much because everyone was saying, yeah, decent day for you today. But he came from last to get onto the podium. That's not a decent. That's a very good try.
He gets. Maybe because of his reputation, he gets treated like he didn't do anything, like he came from like 5th to 3rd or something.
If Lewis had gone from last to 3rd, he'd be ranting and raving about it. And I guess that's just Bottas for you. But for all the slander he gets on this channel, I think we should, fucking shout him out. Not that he cares. Give him something today. In that amazing drive. If not for Ricciardo driver of the day.
Well, yeah. I personally voted for Bottas driver of the day.
Did you?
I did.
Wow.
This is character development.
I'm just going to take a second to let that soak in. And then we can move on to McLaren.
Yes.
Long time coming. Finally back with Mercedes power. It's happened. Other than Ferrari, I don't see anybody else I would have wanted on that top step more than Ricciardo and McLaren.
Yeah, I completely agree. I can't lie to you.
And they got it on merit. They said even over commentary, it was pointed out that Ricciardo was ahead of them when they crashed. It was not a given that one of those two were going to win.
Yeah, he didn't sort of inherit first from having a good race and the top two crashing. They were both ahead. Well, Lando was in 3rd at the time, I think.
Yeah.
No,
Lando was in 4th at the time, I think.
Yeah.
Or 3rd, something like that.
Either way,
must have been 4th.
they were they both had an amazing drive today. They both did very well. It was a deserved podium for both of them.
Yeah, and Ricciardo led from start to finish, essentially, didn't he? That car really has pace in it. Russia is another. We're going to Russia next, right? Yeah, Russia is another power sensitive, long straight. Can throw it down the inside. More to come?
I hope so.
I hope so as well.
I do hope so.
And I think with the rumors of Verstappen taking a penalty for power unit in Russia, I feel like McLaren can be there on the front row, if not third, fourth challenge.
Yeah. And, if that does happen, then it's Mercedes podium for the taking, Lewis Hamilton, because they're going to need that desperately next week.
They are going to need that desperately because when you crash into your championship rival, you tend not to gain an advantage when you're in the standings. Yeah.
I don't know if you might have seen what Toto Wolff said after the race.
I was setting this up and I heard it in the background from the other room, harsh words from Toto, but I didn't actually hear it.
He was saying that he likened the crash to a tactical foul in football, where if anyone that doesn't watch football here, it's where you foul an opponent when they're in a good position to basically peg them back a bit. Taking one for the team too.
Damon Hill had similar comments on the Skypad. I agree.
Do you?
I'm not. Hold on, everybody, just stop typing. I'm not saying that. I do need to take this call. Hello?
Hello, sorry.
Listen.
Okay. Allow this for this one.
Chocolate crunch.
Okay, fine.
All right.
We're keeping that on the video.
Food delivery from London, chocolate crunch. The best chocolate bar you'll ever eat in your life.
Will they sponsor us?
They won't sponsor us. And I was going to say I'll bring you some or I'll save you some, but I won't.
Thanks.
So yeah.
I appreciate you at least thinking it.
Yeah. It's the thought that counts, right? That's what they always say. So Damon Hill saying that it was a tactical foul. And yes, I agree. Stop typing. It wasn't. He didn't go into that corner thinking I'm going to take Hamilton out of this race, even if I'm leaving this race with him. He went into that corner saying, I'm either going to come out ahead, alongside, or neither of us are coming out. But I'm not backing off. Backing off was never in his mind. It was, if we crash, we crash, or we both somehow get through this. That surely was it. He knew. He must have known. Everybody else knew looking at it.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of it as a tactical foul though, because there's nothing really for Max Verstappen to gain, because he would rather get the points, or at least you'd think he'd rather want to get the points and pull further ahead.
No, so I'm not saying it was a tactical foul, but I'm saying he didn't mind it being a tactical. It's like, Wan-Bissaka always. Doesn't matter what it is, he's slide tackling.
Yeah. Verstappen
just said, "F it, the slide tackle's going in." Beat machine. The slide tackle's going in. Doesn't matter what comes of it. If I'm late, I'm late. If I miss him, I miss him. But I'm taking the chance.
Yeah. And it was always going to end up like that. He was never going to get through 2 cars wide in that tiny gap.
Paul Resta was like, "There's a gap there. I can see it for one frame."
It's always
the
great
gap closed very quickly.
It's always great when you're watching a race frame by frame.
Yeah, exactly.
You can point out, not when you're going, not when you're in a physical race pace in an F1 car. You can't point out, oh wait, there's a gap there for 0.00002 seconds.
Anyway, we have just hit the half an hour mark on my screen. Not sure if that's half an hour of video, but it's half an hour on my screen for us to recording. And it's raining outside.
We've only been recording for 15 minutes.
So what were we doing for the other 15 minutes?
Yeah, you had Zoom on in the
Maybe background. I was just waiting for you. Yeah.
You were waiting at least 10 minutes.
Yushin's always late. He messages me saying 2 minutes, and it turns into 20.
Yeah, it's because I left my charger in the car, so I had to run to the car. Then this room was in a bit of a mess. I had to sort it out. You know, I care a lot for the viewers of LTF1.
They don't care for you.
That's true.
Let's talk about someone else. McLaren did well. Bottas did well. Lewis and Max did each other. Vettel got slapped about in the midfield, not in terms of talent or pace, just people literally were slapping him about.
Yeah, it was it Stroll first?
It was Stroll first and then Ocon second, with just no time for Vettel, I guess.
And there was one more later on, but it was very minor, and I can't remember who it was.
But not the greatest of races for him. But he's still top of the overtake charts. 90 overtakes for him so far this season, more than anyone else. I
think Vettel still got it in him, and it was the first incident that really sort of cost him the rest of the race. I believe it was the first one with Stroll. I think it cost him like 3 places. Stroll
barged his way through, and it completely knocked Vettel off where he was. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars went by, I think. And then around Monza, they really need another DRS straight. Martin Brundle was saying that you can't have one down the back straight because they don't break into the final corner. They just kind of float it in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can we talk about as well?
No.
Latifi, the improvement in Latifi recently.
Yeah, he has been doing very well recently. Don't know where this has been. Still not there in qualifying, but in the races he's been doing extremely well.
Yeah, he looks finally like he's starting to gain confidence, and he's starting to really get a grasp of the potential pace of the Williams car.
Yeah.
Race pace at least. And yeah, I'm really glad, because admittedly a few years ago before Williams became bad, like awful bad, there used to be a team that I liked, but I was never sort of deeply invested in them. But seeing them 2019 especially looking absolutely awful and looking like,
so you saw a team that was absolute shite and you thought, I think I should invest in this.
Yeah, because you know what, I thought
you do the same thing with football. Clearly
I did.
Issues and Arsenal supporter, by the way.
Yeah, when I started watching football, Arsenal were very good, but now it's now they're like 2019 Williams. Yeah, but they did get points yesterday, so maybe
Wow, points against Norwich.
Yeah,
it's like Williams winning an F2 race.
Yeah. As I was saying, where was I? Yeah, but I really didn't want them to sort of be forced out of F1 as the only proper sort of family-owned team.
Yeah, which they have been though, technically.
Yeah, well,
family's gone.
They're still the same Williams team.
Yeah,
they're still in F1. They still exist, and yeah, it's just really, really good to see them finally on an upward trajectory again. And I think next year, hopefully Albon can do a solid job for them. Hopefully they can get a good car with the 2022 regs. And yeah, both drivers did a good job today. Russell in the points again. Latifi just outside the points.
How fast we've gone from Williams drivers really pushing for points to points almost every race.
Yeah.
It's Hungary, right?
I'm trying to remember. It's gone out of my head now.
Hungary they scored. Belgium, obviously they scored. And then this race they scored.
Yeah, it was Hungary, their first points, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
And yeah, and that race was like a massive achievement. Like they'd won, like they'd won the Constructors' Championship when they got both of them in the points. But now you can see it wasn't talked about after the race, really.
Because they've just gone under the radar. In fact, not only did they score points, but Russell was scrapping for positions with Esteban Ocon in an Alpine car that we've said, while being maybe the most boring team on the grid and just kind of going under the radar at all times, a car that has proven itself.
Yeah, and yeah, so I'm really happy for them. Hopefully next year can carry on. I think that's, maybe they could even push on a bit further. Who knows?
22, who knows? Anything could happen. They could be top step.
Latifi could be winning races and George Russell could be scrapping out for like 18.
Imagine. That would be so. He's got that luck, so maybe.
Yeah, he does.
On that bombshell, it's time to end. Yeah. So what have we got next? We've got a 1 week break, which means a car video will be coming. Got 2 mods sitting in their boxes downstairs. and we're going to clean the car.
Is it like a £20 turbo kit?
It is an Alibaba mod. They are AliExpress parts. Didn't get to me in express timing, but they are AliExpress parts. It's going to be a good one.
This car isn't lasting more than
No, don't worry. But it's filthy right now on the outside.
Yeah,
it will properly
be done by me. I'm reading the manual for our new jet wash. It's a proper one. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to pay us £3.50 a month if you want to. It's a great investment. £8 a month if you really want to make a bigger investment.
£85 a month if you want a hoodie, a really nice hoodie.
Yeah, it's like a payment plan for the cost of how much it costs for us to buy one hoodie. And and yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. You can find us on Instagram, LTF1 Official. You probably won't. And on Twitter, LTF1 Official. Again, you probably won't. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.